Okay, hello guys. Today I am playing a game called But You Seem Fine. And let's read the description real quick. But You Seem Fine is a visual novel based on one of the developers struggles with an invisible illness. Step into the shoes of a 14-year-old Ray Kim who becomes sick with a mysterious illness and follow her journey as she and her mom search for answers. Okay, let's run the game. I don't know what am I playing so much. Okay. New game. Use headphones for best experience. This visual novel is based on a true story, but it's not meant to substitute professional help, nor reflect the range of experiences surrounding invisible illness. Thank you. This isn't fair. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Why can't I find some answers? Honestly, having an invisible illness sucks. I've had one before, but I've had an invisible illness before, but this is not about me. So, you awaken in your bedroom. The sun is shining through the window. It's just another Monday. Your computer is sitting beside you on the bed, still open to pause screen from the night before. You must have fallen asleep watching the new season of Super Space Sailors, a documentary on genes and cloning, a performance by Yo-Yo Ma. Sure, let's just watch that one. The plot has been lagging since Captain Yumiko Itami of the Global Defense Squad bit the dust last season, but you never thought you would actually fall asleep during an episode. You rub some of the sleep from your eyes and head downstairs before you're even later than you already are. Is that my mom? Good morning, sweetie. If you had slept any longer, I would have loved you to fend for yourself. But since I have some time to spare before heading off to work, what would you like for breakfast? Bacon and eggs, Johnny cakes, fried rice. Bacon and eggs. Excuse me, Ray Cam, aren't you forgetting something? Please, would you do me oh my gosh, I can't speak. Please, would you do me the absolute honor of preparing me breakfast, dearest mother? Okay, say the dramatic language for theater, but thank you. While Mom prepares breakfast. You pack your lunch for the day. Looks like the only option is leftover tikka masala. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry. Please correct me. Yum. Mom sets your bacon and eggs on the table and you shovel it down before heading out the door for school. You arrive at school in record time. Was it breakfast that made the difference? Mom was always a killer chef and bacon and eggs has never failed you. You're lost in thought and heading toward your locker when you spot the one and only Sadie. Is she my friend? Let's complain about school, because I don't like school. Please tell me Mr. Sanchez did not just give us an extra essay. Doesn't he know I have a very important and busy life outside of school? Come on, it's not going to be that bad. A 3-page fictional adventure on whatever theme you choose. We write those for fun all the time. You've already finished yours, haven't you? Sadie, I refuse to believe I am friends with you. You chuckle to yourself and head into your first class of the day. Home sweet home. Mom and Dad won't be back from work for a couple of hours and there's a lot to get done. Let's do homework first to just get that out of the way. Okay, I just want to kind of look in the posters when it goes back to her room. Maintaining good marks does not come without effort. You think you heard someone say that at some point. Regardless, you dive headfirst into some worksheets from today. Okay, homework is done. Okay, let's look at the posters. I don't want to... I know that's probably Hamilton. Is that like Steven Universe or something? Okay, play soccer, because why not? I used to play soccer when I was a kid. It seems like forever since you've kicked around the soccer ball in the garage. Maybe it's time to dust off some of those dormant skills from middle school. Besides, getting outside is good for the body and the mind. This girl looks like she's in middle school. What are you talking about? Excuse me. Jeez. You're feeling artistic and musical, plus the swan from Carnival of the Animals has been stuck in your head since you heard it earlier in class. You pick up your bow and start playing. That's enough for one day. Your throat is beginning to feel a bit scratchy. Maybe it's allergies? Either way, you better get some rest. You shuffle into bed and call it a night. I hate when your throat starts hurting and like the next day you get sick. Well, obviously everyone doesn't like getting sick, but you know. You wake up the next morning totally unable to breathe. That is, until you open your mouth. Your nose is completely congested and you can barely make a croaky noise without your throat burning. Yep, I'm sick. This blows. Let's sleep, because maybe you'll feel better once you sleep. I love sleeping when I'm sick. Okay, I keep interrupting myself, but I literally do not take naps unless I'm sick. So, like, if I take a nap while I'm sick, it definitely says a lot. You let your eyelids close as you drift in and out of consciousness. You fall back asleep. Okay? Your eyelids get heavier and heavier. Slowly, you drift off. Turns out this cold hit you harder than normal, and recovery is taking longer than you're used to. You miss a full week of school, you're sick in bed, battling fever, congestion, and throat pain. 1 week later. You finally feel well enough to come back to school. You're excited to be back in the swing of things. You miss orchestra, you miss drama club, and most of all, you miss your friends. Speak of the devil, there's Sadie. Well, let's be dramatic. Sadie, my friend, my one and only. I thought I'd never see your face again after. Okay, I cannot read. I thought I'd never see your face touching the cold nightmare of death. Okay, Your Majesty, I know you're just kidding, but I seriously thought you died. Where have you been? You explain how the last week of your life has spent battling sickness in your bed, your only contact with the outside world when your mom would come in and give you medicine and soup. Yikes, but you aren't still contagious, right? No way, I haven't felt sick since Friday. I tried to text you, but I kind of lost my phone in a wad of tissues. Okay, that's kind of gross. Ray, that is disgusting, but you're really better? Yeah, although... What? Nothing, I just wish I wasn't so tired. You go to the rest of your classes for the day, eager to catch up on schoolwork. School's over, what do? Well, since you've missed like a week of school, let's work on some writing. You travel the familiar path to Sadie's house and set up shop with her at her dining table. Oh, her house is nice. You realize that if you wanted to, we could register to become an official club at the school. Why would we want to do that? Well, we could use the classroom for meetings, maybe even get some money for snacks. Excuse me, what's wrong with my lovely home? And we have snacks right here. Stale Cheetos do not count. Whatever, more for me. Now help me come up with a name for this new character in my story. She's a teenage princess who is also an assassin, and her mark is her betrothed princess. Or prince. I thought your story was about space ninjas. It is. Alright, how about... Ray Casey Alexander Hamilton. Who is Casey? I'm gonna pick that. Aw, cute. Okay. The two of you laugh and work on your stories until it's late and you both tired. You thank Sadie's parents and head back home. Since when do you get so exhausted so easily? Since you got sick, that's when. When you wake up the next morning, you're stuffy, have a fever, and an incredible headache. How are you sick again? You just got better, but it looks like the sickness is back for round 2. Yeah, this happened to me before. Ugh, I would give anything to stay in bed longer. There's a knock on your door. After a short pause, Mom comes in. I know you are not still in bed. It's nearly time for me to go to work. Mom, please. Ray? You're not looking so hot. I don't feel 100% better. Looks like that cold decided to stick around a little longer. Stay home. I'll call the school and get you excused. It's better to sleep and let this bug pass. You want to argue. You have a ton of schoolwork and a million club responsibilities, but the thought of going back to sleep is just too tempting. Thanks, Mom. Mom smiles back and heads into the hallway. You fall asleep once more. Okay, morning again. Wait, what? Did I really sleep through the whole day? Or is that just like, I slept, and it's still morning. Morning again, the sun streams through the window, forcing you to shield your eyes. I'm heading off to work, but I'll leave some medicine on the nightstand. Feel better, sweetie? Oh, I did sleep through the day. Jeez. You grumble in response and fall back asleep as she leaves. Jeez, I slept through the day. Okay, now I just slept through the night. You wake up, groggy and tired. You are very disoriented. You have no idea how much time has passed or how long you've been asleep. Honestly, when you're sick and you take a nap, and when you wake up it's night, it just hits different. You feel very confused and disoriented, and you just feel very exhausted. But yeah, that's my rant. It seems late. Why would we go to the bath? Okay, let's just go to the bathroom. You've been laying in bed all day. You look at yourself in the mirror. There are huge bags under your eyes. Let's wash my face. You turn the tap on cold and splash some water on your face. You look at yourself again. You don't feel refreshed. You frown and head downstairs. Your stomach is grumbling. You're not quite sure when you last ate. Sit down. We have some leftovers from dinner. Would you like me to reheat them? You nod. Mom pulls out a plate and uncovers it before popping it in the microwave. You stare blankly into the distance. Mom places a plate in front of you, then leans against the counter, watching as you start to eat. She's clearly concerned. Thank you. You finish your food and get up to leave the table, but before you go, you glance back around. I love you. You head back upstairs and go back to bed. I feel bad for this girl. You wake up again. Some time has passed, but you don't know how much. Get up is crossed out, so just go back to sleep. Waking up again, you realize you are no less tired than when you last slept. You have no clue how long you've been asleep. Let's try to get up. You just don't have the energy. Oh, okay, so I literally cannot get up. You rub some of the sleep from your eyes. Mom is looking at you, worried. You frown. We're going to the doctor, sweetie. Time to get up. You grumble. She helps you get dressed, and you stumble into the car. You and your mom are at the doctor's office, here to see your primary care physician. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I have a very bad speech. Dr. Harris. What brings you in today? Mom explains the getting sick, the endless sleeping, the suddenness of it all. Well, I did some checkups and see if anything's wrong. He has you open your mouth, say, ah. He checks your eyes, your ears, your nose. He pulls out the stethoscope and listens to your heart. He listens to you cough. He listens to you breathe. He takes your temperature. He tests your reflexes. He takes your blood pressure. That's about every doctor's visit I go to when I'm sick. He sits back. Well, nothing seems to be wrong. You've shaken the blood completely, but you're in high school, aren't you? You're 14? Maybe this has something to do with your hormones, or maybe you're just depressed. You stare blankly. Mom frowns. She's not just depressed. There's something wrong. I've never seen her like this before. I know what she's normally like, and something's not right. Okay, but does depression have you get sick often? I don't. Does depression make you have a scratchy throat? I know it makes you sad and tired, and you don't have motivation to do anything. But this girl is literally straight up sick. He sighs and scribbles something on the pad of paper. He rips off 2 sheets. Here are 2 prescriptions, one for birth control, one for antidepressants. Maybe she'll get better. Why birth control? Oh, never mind. Did he seriously not believe me? I'm your mother. I know what I'm talking about. The nerve of that man. That sounds like my mom. You say nothing, choosing to stare out of the window. We're going to have to look somewhere else. We mumble in agreement and then nod off to sleep. Oh, chapter 2. Okay, if you hear that noise, it's just my rabbit jumping around in her cage, so. You blink slowly and start to wake up. You don't know how long it's been since you first got sick, but your days seem endless now. What do you do? Has she been sick for how long now? Let's look at my phone. You check your phone and see you have a new message. It's Mom. Hey, sweetie, don't forget we have a doctor's appointment at 1:30 today. I'll be by to pick you up at noon. Make sure you eat something. Okay, it's crossed out, so let's go back to sleep. It still feels like you've been hit by a truck. Nothing could feel better than slipping back into a temporary coma. You pull your covers back up to your chin and let yourself doze off. Sleep sounds really good right now. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. Also, if I miss this many days of school, my parents would be sent to court. Ray, wake up. You wake up suddenly to the sound of your mom's voice. She's shaking you by the shoulders and trying to get you up and out of bed. Ray, we're going to be late to the doctor's. Did you not see my text? Let's just do as she says. We have no reason to get mad at her. Groggily, you pull a hoodie over your head and put a pair of sweatpants while Mom rushes you out the door and into the car. You fidget uneasily as the two of you wait for the doctor to appear. Mom says he's an ENT doctor, but you're not sure what that stands for. Based on the large picture of a cross section of a head on the wall, you guess it stands for ear, nose, and throat. Ah, that makes sense. Mom got a referral from your primary care physician after he found out you had been congested and sick a couple times. I don't know why we're even here. 10 more minutes go by. Hello, I'm Dr. Clark. Mom goes over the same smile, I think that's how you say that she gave Dr. Harris. He listens and nods occasionally as he inspects you for normal checkup procedures. While her ears and throat look fine, I'll need to take a closer look up her nose. He pulls out a long, thin device. It looks like a stick. He says it's a camera, and to your great discomfort, he shoves it up your nose. Nope, not really seeing anything up here. He moves the stick around. It hurts a little, but it's mostly just weird. Ugh, that's an uncomfortable situation. He leans back in his chair, finally finished. You know what I think? I think she's a teenager. She had a cold, and now she's milking it for all she can. Her chart says she's on antidepressants already, so there's not much else I can do. Look, kid, you just have to suck it up and go to school, even if you're sick. You know, when I was a kid, I got the chicken pox and still went to school. That's a little unsafe. But I guess back then, people didn't care about as much stuff as that, so... And also, this is so on point. Old people rambling about how they never missed a day of school, even when they were throwing up or something. He rambles on for a bit as he zones out. Mom stares at him in silence, but you tell that she's carefully holding back her words. When he finishes his lecture, she calmly stands and walks out of the room. You shuffle out after her. This was literally my mom. You make a brief stop in the waiting room while Mom takes care of the copay. Then you both head home, none the wiser when you came. Several days later. Am I still sick? Please say I'm not still sick. And I'm still sick. It's the weekend after your appointment. You're resting in bed when your phone vibrates. It's a text from Sadie. Dude, we start new projects in our class tomorrow. What's something awesome you could put on your wall? That's so sweet. Plus, you would be lying if you said you hadn't been asking for some sweet art from her for a while. Let's just do that. You hit send, and before you know it, there's your response. You got it, Captain. Just make sure you get back to school at some point and pick it up. Yeah, hopefully sooner rather than later, if you have anything to say about it. You hear Mom calling for you from the kitchen. You pocket your cell phone and get out of bed. Okay, coming. It kind of seems like I'm feeling a little bit better. Look who came when called. Yeah, about that. What could you possibly want this early on a Sunday? Ray, it's 2 p.m. Oh, I need to bring a dish to the potluck at work tomorrow since you spent some... I didn't even read all of that. I don't know, I'm so tired, Mom. Mom sighs heavily. Alright, just help me choose something people will actually eat. They'll probably eat that. Ray, I said that people will actually eat. Green bean casserole is great. You get to trick everyone into thinking it's healthy by putting a vegetable in the title. What the lady wants, the lady gets. Hey, maybe you could prep the rest of the ingredients while I run to the store and grab onions. Sure, and while I'm at it, I'll give you $1 million. Hey, it was worth a shot. You and Mom giggle as she turns back to the fridge. Several weeks later. Okay, I have to be better by now. I definitely have to be better by now. I'm not? You and Mom have another doctor's appointment. This whole process is starting to seem like a cycle of missing school and getting nowhere. But you guess finding an answer is worth it. Okay, if I miss school this much, I would be forced to go back to school. So apparently there is a chance that this whole energy issue is a problem with your heart. So you're in to see a cardiologist today. The doctor listens to your heartbeat and breath. It seems alright, but let's do the cardiogram and a heart ultrasound just to make sure. You lie down on a table. The tech attaches 20 different electrodes to your head and your chest for the cardiogram. Oh, I've had one of these before. I used to have a heart problem that was caused by my anxiety. And one time I just couldn't breathe and my chest was hurting, so I went to the hospital and this happened. But yeah, end of my story. You lie there and feel like a potato battery. That's what I felt like. After a few minutes, you're ushered into another room for the ultrasound. You take your shirt off, and the tech pushes down on your chest with a device covered in cold gel. She keeps looking for different angles, and it hurts your ribs. You wince at the pressure and squeeze your eyes shut, trying to go somewhere else in your mind. You see your heart show up on the black and white monitor. It seems small. The nurse examines it. Well, you have a teeny tiny heart murmur, but it's really small. I don't think it's anything to worry about. Definitely not the issue here. Great, another dead end. Your phone lights up. There's a reminder in your calendar. Find a monologue for fall play auditions. Damn, you really wanted to try out for the lead, but you haven't had the time or energy to prepare anything. Maybe you'll feel better by next week and find something in time. There's also a text from Sadie. You, me, Super Space Sailors Marathon this weekend. We can finish the whole season if you watch nonstop for 24 hours. That would be so much fun, but you just don't have the energy to get to Sadie's place, let alone stay for her for hours on end. Let's just say that. You send the text and tuck your phone away, staring out the car window. Your doctor's appointments are wearing you down. You're not sure if it's even worth it anymore, but you still wish you had an answer. You keep searching? Yes, we keep searching. Of course, we hit a few dead ends, but someone's got to come up with something. Sure, there were some bad apples, but maybe the next doctor will be better. You gotta figure out what's wrong, girl. You gotta go to school. I'm just gonna say she's not better, is she? You wake up and find yourself in your room. Everything seems kind of peaceful. Weird. You glance at the clock. 8:48? This does not bode well for your 9 o'clock class. Mom? There's no response. She must have already left for work. You grab the nearest articles of clothing and sprint into the bathroom. Maybe if you hurry, you won't be that late. Oh, so she's back at school. Arriving in the class slot 25 minutes late, you slam your backpack down and pull out your notes. The rush of adrenaline from booking into school has got you wired. As fast as you can, you start scribbling down the notes on the whiteboard. Okay, adjectives, noun, modifiers, they describe a noun. Adverb, adjective, verb, or other adverb modifiers. Examples include... Is she falling asleep? No way she fell asleep in class. Ray. Huh? Sadie? Dude, it's time for PE. Wait, what? Oh gosh. Did you fall asleep? Yeah, can I borrow your notes? I mean, sure, but you seem like you made good progress already. What? You look at the notebook in front of you, and sure enough, there are lines of notes written on the pages, barely legible, but still there. Whoa, did I write these in my sleep? Oh my gosh, that is like a superpower. I would kill to be able to do that. You're not sure how you feel about this statement, but you brush it off. Since you woke up, you're feeling surprisingly refreshed. As weird as the nap was, it gives you enough boost to make it through the rest of the day. Okay, well, that's kind of weird. Another doctor's appointment. Mom got a recommendation for this holistic doctor, Dr. Worth. Alternative medicine as a concept doesn't exactly click in your mind, but at this point, you're getting desperate for answers. His office is in a nice part of town, and it was hard to find parking. As you walk in, you notice that office is covered in embroidered pillows. His Harvard degree sits on the wall in a nice frame. Dr. Worth listens to the smile. He says he has some ideas about what might be going wrong and orders some blood tests. You go to the section of the office with the I don't know how to say that, aka the person who draws blood. She pulls up your hoodie sleeve, ties your arm off, and disinfects the bend of your arm. She tells you they need 11 vials of blood today. You nod. She slides the needle in, but you don't look. After you get your blood drawn, you meet up with your mom at the front desk. Apparently, the doctor recommended some specialty supplements that he also sells in-house. You watch as the price tag climbs with each additional bottle. You find out, of course, that they're not covered by insurance. Mom pays the price, and then the two of you head home. Several days later. Geez, that's a lot of time skips. You spend the weekend downing extra supplements, vitamins, minerals, weird powders you mix with apple juice, and you name it. Some of them taste gross, and some of them are size of horse pills, but you swallow them all. With your previous meds and your new supplements combined, you now have a personalized medication chart taped to the side of the pantry cabinet. There's your morning pills, 7, your lunch pills, 5, and your night pills, 9, for a whopping total of 21 pills a day. If these... Dang, girl! Wow, I couldn't take that much pills in a day. If these pills are supposed to make you feel better, why do you feel so much worse all the time? Okay, several weeks later, please tell me she gets a answer though. You and your mom are back to see Dr. Worth. He pulls out some pieces of paper. They have your name on the top, as well as a bunch of tables with all sorts of numbers on it. Do you know what these are? A chart of some kind? Right. It's just a high level of liver enzymes. He drones on a bit about how certain activities have side effects that are evident in many ways. Teenagers often fail to realize that the stress that they place on their bodies has lasting effects. Seeming cool is more important than their health. Wait a minute. What? There's no easy way to say this. Your daughter is sniffing glue. What? Excuse me? Oh, I'm not. Honestly, the absurdity of the proposal shakes you more than you are willing to admit. You, Ray Kim, the druggie getting high behind the dumpsters after 5th period? Maybe if you planted that rumor in school, you could get him some street cred, except for the fact that a total of 0 people would believe it. I understand that this is hard to hear, but catching it early is the first step to recovery and intervention. Mom cuts him off by standing. Thank you for the advice. Good day. Uh-oh, Mom is overemphasizing her sentences. This isn't good. You follow Mom out the door, leaving Dr. Worth shaking his head. How would you just accuse a girl who is clearly not on drugs of doing drugs? The silence is palpable. I'm not sniffing, I know. Because I would never, I know. Great, what a complete and utter waste of time. Your phone lights up. It's an email from Mr. Jefferson entitled "See Me for Exam Score." Crap. The only time Mr. Jefferson asks to see students is when they are failing. This is not a good day to be missing school again. There's also a text from Sadie. You're not dying, are you? Someone at school started a rumor you were dying. It was Karen Murphy. So of course I don't believe her, but still. You would tell me, right? Ugh, Karen Murphy. If you had the mental energy to be mad, you would be. You send the text and tuck your phone away. You're going back to looking out the window. So much for this doctor being better than the rest. In fact, this doctor may have even been worse. The only thing these doctors have done are make assumptions about who you are, and a grand total of none of them have helped in the slightest. Why can't someone tell me what's wrong already? Should I keep searching? Yes, let's keep searching. I want to see what happens. Despite everything, the chance of finding out what is wrong is still worth it for now. It's midday. You can tell the minute you open your eyes from the sun shining through the window. You have not been to school any day this week or last week. You don't even want to think about all the makeup assessments that you're going to have to do when you finally go back. If you ever go back. Sometimes I feel like the sickness will last forever. Why don't they go to a hospital instead of a doctor? Rolling out of bed, you see your cello across the room. It's been a while since you played, but nothing would make you happier. You grab a backpack and take out a sheet of music your orchestra director sent you. No time like the present. An hour of practice will help keep up with the rest of them when I get to rehearsal again. You take out your cello from its case and pick up your bow, preparing for the start of the piece. The notes are long and flowing. It feels amazing to play, but before long, your arm position on the cello weighs you down. Your muscles ache from moving the bow back and forth. You look to the clock. Only 20 minutes in? I never feel tired after only this long. You set your cello back in its case and take a break. You don't know why you thought you could actually practice normally, especially given how you've been feeling lately. I feel bad for this girl. Imagine how miserable she feels. Back at the doctor. You're going to see a blood doctor today. You don't know that there are doctors that just study blood. You're ready for another run-of-the-mill experience, similar to the ones you've had before. Ray Kim? You nod, but the doctor doesn't even lift her gaze from the file in her hands. She lifts her eyes over her rectangular glasses to get a better look at you. She looks back down to the file with her notes, then back at you, then back down. I think it might be Lyme disease. It's pretty rare, and I'm not sure if you've been in an area with ticks, but it's worth checking out. I'll order a blood test. You are almost taken aback by the efficiency of the appointment. She didn't even touch you or come close enough to get a good look at you. Maybe she was just that good, or just that bad. Lyme disease? I'm trying to think of the symptoms, but I can't really think of the symptoms. Your phone lights up. It's a text from your orchestra conductor. Regretfully, you have been cut from the upcoming recital for not attending enough rehearsals. You feel tears in your eyes as you put your phone away. There's also a text from Sadie. Hey. You send the text, tuck your phone away, and stare at the window. You try not to think about how much you wish you could play in that recital. Today was a complete bust. Do you keep searching? Let's keep searching. You look at Mom. Despite everything, she is still your strongest advocate. She might be the only one on your side at all. She's fighting so hard for you that it makes you determined to keep going. Another doctor it is. We gotta keep looking, bro. We got to. There has to be a way to find an answer. Auditions for the school play tomorrow. You haven't had much time to prepare, but there are some monologues you still have memorized from last time. Let's do Hamilton. Sure, why not? Nice. You pull out the script and start flipping through it until you find a chunk of text that works for this audition. Then you get to work. Hours later, you lay back on your bed, having memorized, and practice your audition to your heart's content. You probably set your alarm and climb into bed, ready for tomorrow. She's gonna screw it up, or just gonna show us at the doctor. Please tell me it shows her audition. Ray! Oh, she missed school? Your eyes open to find your cheek sitting in your breakfast. Huh? What happened? Well, I'm not an expert, but I believe you fell asleep in your breakfast. Ugh. You rise out of your chair and wipe some of the breakfast off your face. Mama's watching you carefully. Even walking into the sink tires you out. You lean against the counter and try to rub some of the sleep from your eyes. Honey, I really don't think you should be going to school today. Auditions. I know, it's your choice. She's right, but you know she's right. But it doesn't make it hurt any less. You can barely function this morning. There's no way you're going to make it to this afternoon. Okay. Oh my gosh, I feel bad for her. She practiced, she was proud of herself, and she can't go to her auditions. What the crap? You had no idea there were many types of specialists for doctors, but here you are, and somehow you made your way to an infectious disease doctor. Mom launches into the same spiral as before. The doctor didn't even have the decency to talk to your face. She talks over your head, directed to Mom, showing her a series of laminated sheets with charts and graphs on them. Rude. Mom notices your sour expression. So, Ray, what do you think of all this? Dr. Lee, as it sits under her coat, turns to give you an obviously forced smile. Oh, you don't have to worry about the fine details. I'm sure they go over your head anyway. You sit there, taken aback, as Dr. Lee turns back to Mom. Excuse me? I may be a kid, but I'm not stupid. You sit there fuming while Mom smiles and nods at the doctor. Dr. Lee thinks you have a problem. Thinks you probably have something, but not an infectious disease. Yeah, I could have told you that one, genius. Despite the lack of infection disease, she writes an official doctor's note to excuse you for the amount of school you've been missing. The second the appointment is over, you beeline out the door. So it's a doctor. Jeez, why is the doctor so mean? Neither of you are happy about the appointment you just had or the money you just spent. You look at the note in your hands, an official excuse to be missing class. The note reads, infection, oh, I can't read. Disease clinic in bold, black letters at the top. It looks intimidating, but you suppose it's effective enough. After missing so much school, oh my gosh, I can't speak. Reading this much is tripping me out. You need something to show administration so you don't get expelled. Mom looks at you. You look back at your mom. She squeezes your hand tightly, but her eyes are less bright than they were before. She would never show, but the constant barrage of doctors is taking a toll on her as well. You'd only be treated like a science experiment for so long before you snap. It just seems like no matter how hard you try, there are thousands of things in the way of finding answers. You just wish things could go back to normal. That you could leave behind the world of doctors and appointments for good. You were just so tired. Oh, it's not giving me a choice to see another doctor. Mom drops you off at school to turn in the doctor's note. It feels like years since you've been here. You wish you were back for good. After dropping off your doctor's note at the front office, you head to the hallway to see if you can find any of your friends. Lo and behold, Sadie is sitting right there at her locker, loading books into her bag. Tackle her. The second you spot her, you start running. You nearly full-on tackle the girl and give her a huge hug. She falls forward, shocked to be still, but breaks into a huge smile after noticing your beaming face. Ah, you're back! She spins you around in her arms before releasing you. The hall monitor looks like he's going to pop a blood vessel. Thank God, school was so boring without you. I sort of almost started paying attention in class, so I just had to do something. You giggle at her excitement. Man, you sure have missed her. Well, where have you been? You know what? It doesn't matter. Because now you're back. And we're going to rule the school once more. Your smile falls. Actually, I'm only stopping by today. I got a doctor's note to excuse how much school I've been missing. Sadie deflates. Oh, I just thought... No, it's fine. You take all the time you need, but what is it? You haven't actually told me what you have. Is it contagious? Is that why you're spending so much time away from school? You don't really want to explain everything to yet another person. But Sadie is your friend. She means well. You launch into a summary of your life since the beginning of fall. The sleeping, the doctors, the pills, the endless number of tests. How discouraging it all is. You wish you just had an answer. She nods along without saying anything. Actually, I have an appointment with a doctor that specializes in hormones. They might think of something that will help. Might? Yeah. I don't know. I'm just skeptical that anything will help. Maybe it's your diet. When I don't eat enough, I feel tired. That's not really... Or maybe you aren't exercising enough. My mom says young people like us need to run around and tire ourselves out in order to get a good night's rest. Well, drinking water can help the body wake up and be ready for the day. I read that in a self-help guide. You read self-help guides? No, or at least I didn't used to. After you stopped coming to school, I wanted to help, so I read up on some stuff. I got a book from the library called 1001 Diseases 1001 Diseases You Could Have and Not Know. She pulls out a textbook from her backpack and shoves it into your hand. It's pretty hard to be carrying around, just in case you saw each other. You can tell she put a lot of effort for you, but this isn't really what you wanted to hear after the onslaught of doctors you just visited. Sadie shovels her weight back and forth. She obviously wants to say something, but is clearly uncomfortable. Actually, have you heard of psychosomatic symptoms? Your heart drops. Yes, you have. It's basically when you think you're sick, but actually it's all in your head. And, excuse me? I'm not saying that's what you have, but you've been to all these doctors and they don't know what's wrong. Doctors are smart. They should know things. Right, they should. What if you are actually sick? Then you just need to think positive until you get better and things can go back to normal. You stare at Sadie, almost in shock. Think positive? Are you serious? What? Do you think I'm making this up? Do you not believe me too? I do, but I don't know. I just don't see how you can say you were so sick and yet stand here and what? Look like you're fine. Wow, an argument. The words hang in the air for a moment, tears sting in your eyes. You stare her down for a few seconds before you turn, walk down the hall, and exit the school. I seem fine? How could you say that after I spilled my heart out to her and let her know what I've been going through? How could she still think that everything is fine? Okay, but at least she's been helping and trying to think of what's wrong with you. You're at another doctor's appointment with Mom. Visiting school took a lot of energy out of you, and this isn't helping. You feel miserable. You've been sitting in this room for a couple minutes, but honestly, all of these offices are starting to blend together. This lady is an endocrinologist, a hormone doctor. Dr. Jones gave you a surprise. I read that. I'm so dumb. Dr. Jones gave you a referral after your blood results were negative for Lyme disease. Surprise, surprise. The doctor enters the room with a flourish, her red cowboy boots flashing and her dress twirling. You look at her in awe. She sits down and faces you and your mom, smiling brightly. She extends her hand out to you. Hello, my name is Julie. What can I call you? You shake her hand a bit, taken aback by her friendliness. I'm Ray. I'm sick, but I'm not happy about it, so that's why I'm here. Okay, I like this doctor a lot. Maybe she'll help figure out what's wrong. Dr. Julie laughs heartily. You can't help but smile, too. Well, your funny bone certainly is damaged. Let's start at the beginning and try to get a grasp on what's going on. Well, we believe it started at the beginning of this year with... Actually, Mom, can I hear this part from Ray? It may help me understand it a bit better. You look at her for a second before launching into your own story, eager for her advice and opinions. She looks at you, really looks at you, like you're a person, not some test subject. She listens to your story earnestly. When she has ideas and questions, she doesn't overstep her boundaries. It feels like you're involved in the process, like you have a seat at the table. Okay, I don't want us to get ahead of ourselves, but I have an idea. I have your blood test from Dr. Jones, and they show high levels of hormone called cortisol. Do you know what that is? I don't know if I pronounced that right. You nod yes. You've heard this before. Dr. Julie continues to explain how some of your symptoms and aspects of your story are typical of a certain illness, one that seems very similar. These symptoms line up perfectly with what we call Cushing syndrome. Based on your blood test, I believe that you may have an adrenal tumor on the gland, I don't know how to say that is affecting your hormones. A tumor? Dr. Julie smiles and places a comforting hand on your shoulder. I understand that this seems pretty scary, but an MRI will. No, it's not that. It really wasn't. You couldn't really describe it, but you were almost happy? Cushing syndrome? Is it treatable? Well, we should confirm that it is what you actually have first, but with treatment it has been found to be completely reversible. You turn to Mom, who is smiling softly at your side. You hug her and she holds you close as tears threaten to fall from your eyes. Thank you. Now, was it really that hard to tell a girl she has Cushing syndrome? I mean, yeah, obviously run tests, but like, geez. All it takes is a good doctor, and that's what we have. Dr. Julie walks with you and your mom as you head to the MRI. Hopefully, this will be the last of these exploratory tests. Several days later. Please say I'm better. I'm not better. The sun is going down as you open your eyes for the first time today. It's almost peaceful outside your window as you lie in bed. There's a soft knock at your door and Mom opens it slowly. Sweetie? You sit up out of her bed. Her voice is too soft. She strokes your hair and sighs. Oh, it's not good news, is it? Dr. Julie's office just called with some news about the MRI. Oh, I know we both really wanted Dr. Julie to be right. No, I'm sorry, but the scans came back negative for a tumor of any sort. You feel numb, like the world stripped out from under you and you were floating. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, bro. I thought we had the answer. This is sad. I can't even. Okay, you know you're supposed to feel happy. You know you're supposed to be relieved, but in your mind, this was your solution. This was your answer. This is going to be the end of seeing all these doctors and getting all of these tests done. The end of being poked and prodded, of being treated like a science experiment, of being less than human. But after everything, after all the hopes you got from Dr. Julie, it's just another dead end. This isn't fair. This isn't how it's supposed to be. I'm a teenager. I should be enjoying life, going to school and getting in trouble for coming home late. That's what everyone else gets to do. That's what they do on TV. Why can't this just end? Mom leans in to comfort you, but you don't respond. Instead, you stare straight ahead, tears streaming down your face. She gives you some space. Sweetheart, just don't, okay? I hate this. I hate all of it. I just want to go to school and see my friends. I just want to be the normal kid. I just want all of this to be over. Mom reaches out in comfort. Please, I want to be alone. She nods in understanding and rises, but before she leaves, she turns back. We're going to have to stop going to the doctors for a little while. We don't have enough money to see anyone else, but I promise we're going to figure out what this is. She shuts the door behind her, and you crawl into a ball underneath your blankets, letting your sobs overtake your body. You cry until you are absolutely exhausted, and you can't even move. Okay, well, we're going to have to sleep. Chapter 3. You wake up in your bedroom. It's just another Monday. Go back to sleep? What happens if I try to get up? That's not possible. Okay? You wake up again. It's still Monday. I guess you're going back to sleep then. You aren't ready to get up. Fall back asleep. You wake up again. It's still Monday. You think, we need to get up, but it's not going to let me. What happens if I get up? Just ... You fall back asleep. Rory, get up. We are not going to be late today. You grumble as you get out of bed and change into some clothes. Mom hauls you into the car to take you to school. It's fall semester again. It's been 1 year since this all began, and despite being back at school semi-regularly, you feel like you're always missing class to catch up on sleep. She's been dealing with this for a year. Not to mention you're still tired all the time. You fall asleep in a couple of your classes, but you end up making it through the entire school day. Despite taking several naps, you're still exhausted. Well, guess we're going home. Your phone vibrates in your pocket. It's a text from Mom. She's out front to pick you up for another doctor's appointment. Right. It's your first appointment in a while, actually, but you got a strong recommendation from one of your previous doctors. Maybe this one, it will be worth the cost. You grab your backpack and head down to the main office. Okay, well, this is miserable, honestly. I can't even... I dealt with something similar, but, not with the tiredness, but literally, when I was about 5 or 6 years old, I was sick. Obviously I was sick. It was an invisible illness like this, and after everything I ate, I would throw up or feel really nauseous. Sometimes I wouldn't throw up, but it was miserable. By the end of the last year, your family was too broke to see any doctors, and that's not even considering the emotional cost of all of it. But after a summer of no doctor visits, your family has saved up enough money and paid enough bills to start looking into solutions again. The doctor comes in. Her coat reads Dr. Shipley. Funny, that sounds like a sci-fi captain's name. Mom launches into an explanation. Dr. Shipley, like all the rest, listens to the smile. She, like all the rest of the doctors, nods her head. It sounds like you'll benefit from a sleep study, although it still could be something else. Let's get you scheduled for one. You sigh heavily, but make the appointment nonetheless. You schedule it for the next week in the sleep lab at the hospital. At least this test will be harder to fail, given how I am great at falling asleep. A week later. Geez, I hope we find some solution. Mom dragged you to the sleep center for your sleep study. You've never stayed overnight at a hospital before, but this place is different than you expected. It's kind of cozy with lots of closed-off rooms. After getting checked in, you're shown to your room. The sleep tech attaches what seems to be electrodes to your head, chest, and legs. He also puts 2 elastic bands around your chest to monitor your breathing. Mom looks down at you. Oh, geez, you look like a robot. You snicker. She kisses you on the head. I'll be back in the morning. Sleep tight. Wait, she's just gonna leave you there? Can she not stay? I don't know anything about sleep studies, except you sleep, and they study your sleep. Uh, you crawl under the covers, the lights are off, and sleep tech talks to you over the intercom. He asks you to close your eyes, look up, look down, look to the side, checking to see if the monitoring equipment is working properly. Okay, you're all set. Shout if you need anything. You fade into sleep. Looks like a nerd. Despite having numerous cords attached to you, you sleep fine. Once you wake up, the sleep techs help you take out some of the electrodes, but not all of them. It's time for the nap test. We'll have you try and fall asleep for 30 minutes every few hours. Once the nap tests are done, you'll be free to go. You don't do the first two, you do the first 2 nap tests and fall asleep easily. Seems like you're passing. I could hear your stomach grumbling from the other room. How about I order food from the hospital cafeteria? You nod. That sounds pretty good. Ooh, let's get some mac and cheese. That's always good. Your food arrives at the lab and you take a break to chow down. Not the finest meal I've had, but I wish Mom had packed me something. Time to get back to taking naps. This isn't actually as bad as you thought it would be. You finish up the rest of the nap test. Finally, it's time to go home. The sleep tech takes the rest of the electrodes off your head and releases you from elastic bands. Mom has been waiting for you outside. She gives you a hug. How'd it go? Did you sleep okay? Let's tell about the tests. I got to sleep most of the day, but I don't feel like I was missing out on life. It wasn't too bad. I'm glad. It reminded me of when you used to sleep over with Sadie in middle school. Although I'm not sure much sleeping got done there. You smile a bit. Those were fun times. The 2 of you head out the door and home without another word about the study. Please let them find something to cure her, or to just an answer at least. You finally get a letter in the mail and a phone call from the sleep doctor. Mom talked with her on the phone for a while, but you've come to see her in person. No doubt you're waiting to get informed about it yet another dead end. So we got your results back from the sleep study. I understand you've been looking at answers from quite some time, yes? You give her a weak nod. She hands you a packet of papers. It has some charts with numbers you don't understand. Well, after reviewing your test results, I feel confident that your symptoms are tied to a condition you may have heard before. It seems like you have narcolepsy. You look up at her and stare in disbelief. Wait, it's been so long since all this madness began. Is this it? Are you here? Do you finally have your answer? But narcolepsy isn't right. I've seen on TV that people just fall over all the time, usually just for comedic effect. A few years ago, someone dressed up as a narcolepsy man for Halloween, and it was pretty funny to see him just kneel over and snore. That's not what I have. Narcolepsy affects the brain ability to regulate sleep and walking cycles, which is characterized by excessive sleepiness during the day and falling asleep for short spurts at a time. Sleep doesn't really do the job that it should be doing, so you wake up less rested than you should be. You nod. What she's saying actually makes a lot of sense. Also, your story lines up with many that we get here at the sleep center. Most patients present symptoms between the ages of 10 and 20 often visit many physicians before receiving a diagnosis, if they ever do at all. With proper resource management and follow-ups, it is absolutely possible to live a full life with this condition. Tears come to your eyes and you feel lighter almost. This thing you've been living with, the silent monster, it finally has a name. Honestly, it seems like she actually does have that, and it does make sense because remember in like chapter 2, like at the very beginning, she fell asleep during class and she wrote in her sleep. Instead of shrugging when people ask you what's wrong, you finally have a real answer. Mom gives you a hug. She's crying too. You thank the doctor and schedule another appointment for a more in-depth session later on. Please tell me it's not just a false hope. Answer. You and Mom are quiet on the car ride home. Her entire demeanor has relaxed, and you can see her relief. It's been a long couple of years for the both of you. Still, after the initial happiness of the diagnosis, a somber feeling has settled within you. You haven't said much since leaving the office. What's up? Let's be honest. I feel like I'm supposed to be happy about this, but I'm just not. Mom looks over at you, egging you on to say more. I don't know. I thought having a diagnosis for help, and it does help a little bit, but now we have to deal with the aftermath. You sigh heavily. Speak freely. I have to deal with this. You've just been along for the ride. What? I should have chosen my words carefully. Jeez, I didn't know she would say that. Mom looks taken aback by this response, but doesn't say anything. Alright, I know these past months have been hard on you, but I really am trying my best. It hasn't been easy on me either. Say nothing. You bite her tongue and let her speak. It's been heart-wrenching watching you change from the happy and boisterous girl you were to the worn-down person you are now. What these past few months have done to you, no young person should have to go through that, but that's no excuse to stop trying. Tears starting to spill from your eyes and your hands shake. I'm not stupid, Mom. I know what managing a disease means. It means it's not curable. I'm going to live like this forever. If there isn't any hope of getting better, why should I try at all? Mom pulls the car over to the side of the road, turning off the car so she can look at you head on. Break him. What problems do you see in the world? What? Come on, it's not that hard of a question, is it? Name a problem that you can see. Kind of a vague question, but you ponder it nonetheless. There's inequality, of course, and war overseas, but also the corner store stopped stocking strawberry milk over the summer, which is a real bummer. Then there's everything you and Mom saw. Doctors that didn't take you seriously. A lack of understanding from people about what you were experiencing. It hurts your heart to think of those things. Empathy. People don't relate to those things. People don't relate to things they don't understand. Okay, who's going to solve that problem? Again, you are at a loss for words. Because the way I see it, if you have a problem and no one is there to fix it, isn't it on you to take the first step? You stop and think about that for a second. Did you get that off a Facebook post? Ray, I'm being serious. You need to have the goal to work towards, and you need to have a goal to work towards in order to keep going. Having a positive outlook on things is easy when life is going well, but sometimes life just sucks. Man, it's getting real. When situations are out of your control, you can either wallow in your own thoughts or you can control what you can, your outlook. But if you give up, there's no way for them to even get better. I don't want to lose my daughter to some condition she may have. I want you to find a way to be happy despite it. That's all I ever wanted for you. You can't help it anymore and spring forward to hug your mom. You cry into her shoulder as she pats your head. You both just sit there until you calm back down. Your father and I are here for you, and we always will be. You can't just give up hope on living a good life. You're not in her arms. You understand what you need to do now. Oh, what am I going to do? Am I going to go back to school? Am I going to be happy? It's Tuesday. Sadie is down the hall looking towards you, but she hasn't looked up from her phone yet. It's now or never. Sadie! She looks up and sees you smiling. She can't help but smile back. Ray, long time no see. Are you visiting again? No, I'm actually back. For real this time. You're all better now? Your smile falters just for a moment. No, I got a real diagnosis. I think this one is legit, too. You both stand there looking at each other. It's been months since everything went down between the two of you, and you weren't quite sure what to say at this point. Look, I'm sorry I've been kind of distant. Everything just kept piling up, and I didn't know what to do with myself. But you actually tried to reach out when no one else seemed to care. I should have been a better friend to you. Okay, they were kind of both in the wrong, only a little bit though. You shift your weight and take a deep breath. I was wondering, do you want to come over and rub with me after school today? Sadie smiles, but there was something behind her eyes that upsets you. It's pretty obvious how much your fight hurt her. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea. Sure, I would love to come over. What are you working on these days? You laugh nervously, silently breathing a sigh of relief. I actually haven't touched my story since last year. So that's there. Gosh, that seems like a lifetime ago. I mean, it was a long time ago. I've been writing a lot since you've been gone. This summer, I finished the draft of the novel that I've been working on. Sadie, that's amazing. Sadie's bright face shines back at you. Thank you. You know, I actually am in need of a proofreader. The members of the writing club are not the best help when it comes to sentence structure, but that's expected when your club is 90% freshmen. Wait, writing club? Yeah, I kind of started it last year after winter break. We only have a couple members, but there's just one girl, Alyssa. I think you would really like her. You giggle out Sadie's shyness, but it's obvious she was really proud of the club. You never would have guessed that she would start one on her own. Then again, it has been a whole year since you really hung out together. Maybe you weren't the only one to change. Well, if you happen to be expecting new members, are you kidding? Of course you can join, but I have to warn you, it does conflict with drama club. That's alright, I always did like watching theater more than doing it. The two of you laugh and chat all the way to her house. Turns out there is a lot to catch up on. Is that it? Did we get a diagnosis? Epilogue. Okay, let's see what the epilogue is. Oh, we're dressed up. Oh, this is cute. You girls have a good time and stay safe. Remember, if anyone makes you uncomfortable, you have my permission to punch them in the face. Literally my mom. Okay, thanks, Mom. And if anyone touches you, thanks, Mom. Okay, have fun. I packed you both green bean casserole in case you get hungry. Really? You mean green bean casserole again? It went over so well at the potluck. How could I not? I'll be back to pick you up at 4. You and Sadie wave goodbye to Mom as she drives off. It's been a few months since you and Sadie reconnected, and the two of you have settled into a comfortable friendship once again. It's a little different from before, but just as loving. Sadie was the one to bring up going to the anime convention that's held downtown every year. What? You never had the guts to go before, but after everything that's happened over the past few years, you decided it was time to step out of your comfort zone. Alright, the Super Space Sailor's voice actor have a panel at 2:15. Until then, we can take a look at the show floor. Aye, Captain Atami, I'll set a course. Thank you, Miss Starling. You and Sadie set off through the aisles of the show floor. Vendors crowd the exhibit hall with all sorts of merchandise. Plushies, clothes, art books, you name it. Plus, there are cosplayers everywhere. Whoa, what are all these people crowding around over here? I think that's the artist who draws dark and gritty takes on things that definitely don't need to be dark and gritty. That seems interesting. Sure, but you can only see so many teddy bear homicide detectives before it gets old. I'll take your word for that one, say. You and Sadie laugh, hoping he didn't hear you criticize his work. So how goes the new medication? It seems like it may be working, but it's too early to say for sure. I'm just glad this one doesn't make me feel so jittery. Sadie nods along. You remember talking her ear off nonstop when you tried the last medication. It's supposed to keep you awake during the day, but instead it made your heart race and your whole body feel twitchy. I've had medicine like that before. Medication management has been its own journey as well. You've lost count of the numbers of meds you've tried, as if yet you have not found a perfect balance between treatments and side effects. Hey, want to take a tour downtown, Artist Alley? Artist Alley! The two of you take a hard left and head down the path with posters and prints that line the way. An interesting piece of art catches your eye. hanging on the wall at one of the booths. Hey Sadie, wait up a second. You talk with the artist, and she pulls down a poster off the wall. Sadie gives you a bit of a side-eye glance. You hold a piece in your hands. It's a picture of a cello, but the background is made up of playbills from various musicals. It seems like it was made for you. Wow, seems abstract, although the use of color is tres. Don't know how to say that. You smile at her lame attempt of being. Don't know how to say that either. I like it. Definitely worth the price tag. You hold up the picture to the light. This is going right up on your wall when you get home. Having to quit orchestra and drama club has been tough. You don't see your friends nearly as much anymore, but focusing on schoolwork has paid off pretty well. It took some time to get into the swing of things, but you're going to pass all your classes this year. Your homeroom teacher even told you how impressed she was. You gently place the picture in your bag and continue with Sadie. Did I pay? Or is it just like, I don't know. I was meaning to ask you. Alyssa and I are going to stop by the new boba place down the street tonight. Want to come? I would, but I have a doctor's appointment today. No rest for the wicked, as they say. Oh, well, we can postpone if you want. Oh, no, you guys go have fun, but let me know what flavors they have. We can go some other time. Sadie smiles at you and nods. Let you have to pick and choose where and when to spend your energy. It's just another part of life that you've had to adjust to. Hey, let's take a picture. Right now? No. Time like the present. No time like the present. You pull out your phone and open the front-facing camera. You and Sadie squeeze together and put on your biggest smiles. Smile! The camera shudders, freezing the moment in time. Despite everything, life has found a new version of normal for you. You'll look back on this moment when you didn't remember how much love and support you have in your life, and you'll keep on smiling. Is that it? So this girl has narcolepsy. Oh, we found a diagnosis! I'm so glad we kept looking. Okay, that was a really good game. So we actually found a diagnosis, which was narcolepsy, and at least this doctor helped. It was a long journey, and I don't know how long I've been sitting here, but it was a really good game. It got a little deep in the end, and then it went back to happy stuff with her friend Sadie. But yeah, it was a really good game. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys later. Bye.